Good morning, everyone. This is a recording of the exercise that we started in the lab yesterday. I will be going over all of the questions again. As you can see, this is the spreadsheet that we started with yesterday. You were supposed to enter your name and the date in cell B4. So we said that we usually do not enter the date as like you would not type it, but enter a function so that the date would be updated every time you open the sheet. As soon as you type the first three letters of the function, Excel will suggest that function for you, and it says today returns the current date formatted. So all you have to do is double click on it and then hit enter. And that's all for the documentation sheet. You're asked to go into the home sales data worksheet and create an Excel table in the range A6 to K123. So first thing, you will need to highlight the data. You will click on Insert and choose Table. So now you will have the table. Usually the table would have filters. So when you click on when you create the table, you would see these filters. And these filters are nice in that you can, for example, restrict a particular style. So if you want to see only the condos, you can click on condos. And then everything that's displayed in front of you are just condos. So it is a nice feature, but usually when you are presenting a worksheet, you don't want these filters to appear, so you turn them off. You're also asked to change the table name to sales data, and you have to go under table design, table tools, the design tab, and change it. It was originally, I think, table 2, so you'll change that to sales data. They ask you to add a calculated field. We are now on number 4. Add a calculated field and name it days on market, which is the difference between date sold and date listed. So you will add days on market. And as soon as you hit enter, it will automatically add that new column to the table. Now this is a formula you will enter. So it has to start with an equal sign, and you can see here what exactly the formula will look like. So it is equal to, and you click inside of date sold, and because this column has the date sold, that's why you don't see, but normally if you are not in a table, it will tell you the cell reference. So it will say K7. In here it's just because this is, as we said, a table, it will tell you the name of the column. So you say date sold minus and click on date listed and enter. Since I've done something wrong, so let me do it one more time. Equal to date sold minus date listed, and it will calculate the number of days, the difference between the two. So now the first house has been in the market for 143 days, second 301 days, the third 4 days, and so on. The good thing about the table is that if you calculate for the very top cell, Excel will, because it knows that this is a table and it knows that things will apply to every single one, then it will do the calculation. It will copy the formula to the rest of the column, which is kind of nice. Okay, now you are asked to highlight on file, you are asked to highlight sale prices that are above asking price. And I was saying yesterday that normally the asking price is higher than the sales price. People ask for like 100,000, they would sell their houses maybe 98,000. So it's less than the asking price. So you may want like to look at these sales prices that are higher than the asking price to check if the data is correct, entered correctly or not. So in order to do conditional formatting or to highlight certain cells, first you will highlight all of the cells that you want to examine. Then you will click on conditional formatting and you will choose highlight cell rules that are greater than. You want sales price greater than. If you are looking for sales price greater than a certain value, you can write the value. But you're actually looking at those sale prices that are above the asking price. So you will locate the very first asking price and you will click on it. Now remember, those of you who have worked with Excel extensively know that the $ means absolute. Mean what? Again, in simple terms, if I have the $, I'm saying compare every single cell in the sales price column to the first cell of the asking price. That's not what I want to compare the first with the first, the second with the second, the third with the third, and that's what we call relative reference. So I want to get out the $. The $ will compare everything in the column sales price with just the first value. If you take off the $, it will compare the first, as we said, with the first. So B7 with F7, B8 with F8, B9 with F9, and so on. Okay, we hit enter. And you can choose how to highlight them. It can be red, green. I guess I'll go with the red because it's easier to see. And I want to check and see. So the 103 is above the 102. 115 is above the 112. 106 is above the 105. So all of these are correct. Again, 88 is above the 86. 95 is above the 94. 500 above the 70,000. 159, 500 is above the 158. So this is definitely correct. They ask you to make a copy of the sheet and into a new sheet. When you can easily make a copy of the sheet by just right clicking and choosing move or copy, and choose the sales, the home to sales data, and click on create a copy, hit OK. Your second one will be named Q5, question 5. So going back to the home sales data, they want you to create a pivot table. And a pivot table is a way for you to summarize the information that you have based on specific design. So the first thing to do is to highlight everything in the table again. And click on Insert, Pivot Table. And it's asking you, do you want to create a pivot table on top of sales data? And that's exactly what we need. We want it in a new worksheet and hit OK. And now I have my my design, my sheet or that I can design, and they call you to name this Q7. Okay, now the pivot table, the design is, it wants to show number of homes sold, the average, the highest, the lowest for each of the 3 types of homes: condo, ranch, and Victorian. So because everything that you will show, the numbers that you will show pertain or are associated with the style, you will first drag the style as a row label. So we're saying my first categorization is these 3. Any number that I will display will be categorized based on whether the value is a condo or a ranch or a Victorian. Then I want to drag sales price under the summation. And I don't want the sum, it says number of houses. So I'm going to change that by clicking on value field setting and change it to count. And yesterday in class I asked you, why did I count the number, the sales price and not the style? And the answer is that the count function only works with numbers. So I cannot choose a row, a column that has text like condo, ranch, Victorian and tell them to count. It won't work. So we need like to change the name of the column to count or number of homes. It should allow you, let me see. Okay, let me do it one more time. This computer is messed up, so let's see. I can definitely do it right here. So I want to change to count and to change the header for that column to number of homes. Okay, and now we need to drag it one more time, to drag the sales price one more time, this time to show the average. See, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, the machine is just now the third one, we need to make it minimum or maximum, and and change the title to highest. And then the last one, again last. Okay, the last thing that we want to do is add dollar signs to these values. So you can go under the Home tab and choose Currency and decrease the decimal places. That's way it's obvious that this is a currency. Now the next question is they want you to create a clustered pivot column pivot chart for the average, maximum and minimum sales price. I'm going to make sure that my headers, all of the headers for my columns okay, and I will choose the style, hit Control and average sales price, highest sales price and lowest sales price. And I will go and insert I think the new version just like combined the two, because there used to be just a pivot chart, but now it is just the chart. So we want to create a clustered pivot chart. I don't want the number of homes. I just want to show the average, the highest and the lowest for the condo, ranch and Victorian. Want to make sure that you don't have the average got wow. Okay, I'll just like keep the number of homes because it automatic. As I said, I mean, there's something wrong with my computer, but You want to show the average sales price, the highest sales price, and the lowest sales price. Now they ask you to go back to the go back to the home sales. You want to move this a little bit down. And go back to the home sales data. And they want you to create and to do an if statement. I'm going to stop the video now and then continue in another video because I have a limit of 10 minutes to record. So I'm recording just, this is 21 minutes. I'm not sure if it will allow me.